Hello, friends. I hope you are keeping safe and you are taking good care of yourself and your loved ones. There's a saying, if you're young and talented, as if you have the wings. So today, we are honored to have a young and talented Freesia Habib with us. She is a medical student at Kerala University of Health Sciences. She served as University Union Councillor of Medical College for 2 consecutive years. She's a passionate public speaker, ACGL, ALB, Triple Crown Award winner at Toastmaster, and waiting for her DTM credit from Toastmasters International in early June. We will ask her about all these ACG, ALB, and Toastmaster. What is it when we will talk to her? She received award for Bharat Ko Janiye quiz from His Excellency the Ambassador, conducted by Ministry of External Affairs, New Delhi, amongst 40,000 contestants from 212 countries. She has won more than 100 awards at Saudi and provincial levels for essay writing, short story, poetry, travelogues, quizzes, debates, and so on and so on. She's also the official host of Indian Medical Association, Indian Academy of Pediatrics, National Neonatology Forum, National Health Mission, Trivandrum. We welcome you, Freesia Habib, at our show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, pleasure is mine. I am so much humbled by your marvelous introduction about me. Thank you so much.
We're honored to have you, Freesia. You are currently in Kerala, in India. So tell us, how's weather over there? How's life over there in COVID-19?
Yes, so I'm speaking to you all from Kerala, God's own country, which is a state in the southernmost part of India. Here, monsoon is all set to arrive. It has already arrived. For the past 2-3 days, we had heavy rain. And yeah, the COVID situation is also not very pleasing. We have considerably high number of cases each day. But I'm sure that because since I being a medical student, I have full confidence and passion and dedication on my healthcare workers, the doctors. I'm sure that all of them are doing a great job. And soon, Kerala, India, and the whole country can tide over this crisis.
Absolutely. Not only country, but whole world. We hope that.
Whole world, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. You've achieved so much in this young age, and you studied, and you. What's the secret behind all those successes?
I think I can culminate all into just 3 words. And the first one is self-confidence. Since childhood, I have always been keen on developing immense self-confidence in me because I believe it is always being comfortable in your own skin, which can lead to all your achievements and enjoyments. And the second secret or the second factor, which I would say is my sense of optimism. I was always optimistic about what is going to happen because initially I used to have problems. Like I used to think a lot about my future. I had this overthinking habit. And later I realized that the only trait which can shield this overthinking habits or this worrying in excess about future is an optimistic mindset. And definitely it was that ray of hope, optimism, which led to all my achievements so far. And the third thing is hard work. It is a quintessential trait of any successful person. I was always a hardworking student, whether in my academic or non-academic activities. So I firmly believe that it was my immense self-confidence, faith in me, then my hard work, and that sense of optimism, optimistic mindset, which has made me who I am today, though I am just a beginner in this huge sea of life.
Freesia, you're managing all those things very well because you are an excellent student. That's why you are into doctorate. Normally, people like me who doesn't get good grades, they don't get admission in the medical students. And also you are good in your extracurricular activities, debates, writing, competitions, and all that. So how you manage all these things, juggling all the balls at the same time? Because if a person like me, if I focus on one thing, I forgot completely the other aspect. What's your advice and how you are managing it? Give us your secret, please.
I think a game changer in my life, an eye opener for me, was a book which I read by Robin Sharma, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. That book deeply influenced me. It was from that particular book that I gained two valuable insights. One was time management, and the other one is prioritization of my tasks. So, definitely, these two success mantras, that is, time management and prioritization of my tasks, were those which led to my success. Because I have always believed that all of us, we have got only 24 hours. Anybody, any person you take from the lowest to highest levels of society have got only 24 hours. But it is how we manage our time effectively. And I believe time management is all about personal management and prioritizing my tasks. After getting into medical school, I had a lot of stress and pressure on academic activities as well. So I had to have a balance between academic and non-academic activities. It is then that I started jotting down my tasks based on priority, from the most important ones to the moderately important ones, and to those things which can wait for a while. And having inculcated both time management as well as discipline, time management as well as prioritization of tasks, I believe I have been able to achieve a lot within the constraints of my academics. Yes.
You mentioned about time management. So how we can manage time? What's the simple formula for a layperson like me or someone else who is listening right now? You will say, okay, you need to do time management, but how we need to do? Is there a structured way to do that?
I think time management strongly begins by having a disciplined life and also by managing yourself effectively. I have always been an early bird, though while I was a child, I was a night owl. I used to sit till 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, study hard. But later I realized that when you wake up early in the morning, around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, it can have a deep influence on us. Have a disciplined life. Even medical science, religious books, all of them have proved that the time around between 3:30 and 4 o'clock, it can have a profound impact on your body if you rise up early, healthy, on your immune system, health-wise, mentally, spiritually, everything, the early morning hours, because that is the time when the whole universe, when the whole nature is awake with us. And of course, I perform my prayer, my pre-dawn prayer. After that, I am a great follower of yoga and meditation way of life. So I perform yoga, I meditate for a while. Then later I get into my daily chores, and of course, early morning after that, I study because academics was always my priority. After that, I get involved in academic activities. And then later on, it's time to go to college and handle my other daily chores. And not just that, for academic activities, I used to allot certain hours, because 3 or 4 hours, and those 4 hours I used to sit in with full concentration and dedication, so that if I utilize that time effectively, the remaining hours can be spent for my non-academic activities, for my contests, for my college activities, for my union activities. And another thing is that whatever I do it with full concentration, because concentration, the peak of concentration, is a genius. If you concentrate and love what you do, you can do it more precisely, more accurately, and you can complete it within a shorter span of time. So this is how I manage my time.
beautifully depicted, and especially for students who are learning it, and especially people who are struggling to say that we don't have time for this and that. If they prioritize their time, and then they schedule it, okay, I need to do this from this time to this time, and rather than spending time, or maybe like spending hours and hours on social media, or wasting time just chatting and doing nothing productive, you have slotted it that okay, I need to study 3 to 4 hours for my study, and then for my public speaking, and then my other activities, which is good, and that's why you are very productive in that. You mentioned about the book that you've read, and I believe you are a very good book reader, and it's not the academic books that make you a strong person. So is it necessary that we need to study other books as well? And if yes, then what kind of books you are studying? You mentioned one book. Other than that, any other examples that you can share with our listener? Maybe you can recommend some good books to our listener, our audience.
Yes, of course. It is always important that you have an insight about everything around you, because in this world, it is a huge ocean. There is so much to explore, so much wisdom, so much knowledge to be gained. So it is not just your books of academics or expertise books that have to be read, but all sorts of books have to be read. And in my case, while I was a kid, I used to read fiction, that is Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew. Those were the kind of books I read as a child. Later, when I grew up, I made a shift towards classics. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, then 1984, and those were books which gave me a better insight of the world around me, what was happening not just in my generation, but in the generations behind. And right now, I'm a great fan of Robin Sharma's books because he is a person who has truly influenced me and who has made a profound impact on my life. Some of his very touching books, one is The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, the other one is 30 Days of Mega Living. Then there are many more books, which are, these two books are the ones which I found as most striking, because it was this 30 Days of Mega Living book and The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari which gave me the 7 virtues of a successful living. So I strongly believe that these two are a must read books. And of course, the classics like Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen.
So the way you are progressing, Freesia, we can see an author coming up in near future. I believe you'll start writing your own books. Any plans on that? Writing something of your own?
Right now, I don't have much plans on that, though I am very much involved in essay writing and short story writing because I have few other ambitions to be fulfilled in life.
Great. We've seen lots of your achievements that we've introduced you. Uh, but yes, there are instances in our lives where we don't get what we need all the time. Is it, I mean, something which has happened with you, or you've achieved all the time, you hit all the time, like 100% your target? And if it happened, how you cope up with that situation?
I'm still a youth, a toddler in this huge world of achievements and all. So I strongly believe, of course, achievements, failures are all a part of life. After all, life is not a bed of roses. It is only when you have the ups and downs, the dejection, disappointment, and victories and winning. It is that which makes you a true human. Yes, the failure which created a deep impact on me it was not a failure. It was actually soon after my 12th grade when I relocated to Kerala for higher studies. I had to write Kerala medical entrance exam. For the first time when I wrote, I couldn't make it. I could get a seat in a medical college through a management or NRI quota, but I didn't want that. I didn't want to spend my dad's hard-earned money on my education. So that was the time when I felt a little disappointed. It is one of the toughest competitive exams in Kerala. Yet It was my dad, my mom, my friends who motivated me, who encouraged me, and that is how, just like a phoenix bird, I sprang up into action. A year I devoted for medical entrance exam coaching, and later, after a year, when I wrote the Kerala medical entrance exam, I successfully came out with flying colors, and I could secure a state merit MBBS seat at Kerala University of Health Sciences. And that was my greatest dreams, because I have always admired and respected my parents for all their hard work. And I was very adamant that for my education, they should never spend a penny. And that is what exactly happened. And I could fulfill my dream when I could secure a state merit MBBS seat. And that one year, it was the most stressful year of my life, because while my friends got into a medical college, maybe through management or NRI seat or whatsoever way, I had to spend a year, I had to take the risk of spending a year for this medical entrance exam. Yes, it created a lot of criticism, a lot of ridiculing comments from relatives and people around me, but I always had that self-trust in me. I had that sense of optimistic mindset, yes, that I shall make it. And finally, Alhamdulillah, by God's grace, I made it.
Absolutely. You mentioned about the support of your parents. So being around with your relatives, with your parents and siblings who are supportive of your cause, uh, and how is it? I mean, how was it an impact on your life? Because if someone's parents or like the environment is not conducive, but I believe in your case it's very conducive and they are supportive and they want you to be at that point where you are right now and where you want to be in future.
Yes, the people who have influenced me so profoundly and so deeply are definitely my parents. Because it was my dad who told me, sky is your only limit. And of course, my mom, though an engineer by profession and though she's always busy with her work, she always had time to mold me, to teach me what is right, what is not right, to inculcate in me boundless self-confidence and that self-trust, that sense of faith in me. I still remember the first time I participated in a contest was in third grade, and it was for a drawing contest by World Malayali Council. It was hesitantly I went for that contest, but that was a turning corner in my life. There was never looking back. That single achievement, it fueled all my future achievements. It gave me self-confidence, self-trust, and the factors that led me to participate in that contest was, of course, my parents.
Freesia,
And my
you
friends,
mentioned,
my relatives.
yeah, you mentioned about the contest. So contests, are they good? Because like in contest there were like 40,000 people were there and you were the only winner, but 39,999 people were like not there. So are they healthy or they should be competitions? What do you say?
I strongly agree with the fact that competitions must be there. Competitions are healthy, provided that competitions are in a healthy environment. These days, we find both healthy as well as unhealthy competitions. Unhealthy competitions are mainly, I believe, due to the mindset of students, which are instilled in them by their parents. Because I believe competitions must be healthy. You should respect and you should understand your opponent. At the same time, the thing is that you should not achieve your goal at the expense of someone else. There are few virtues that you have to follow, few moral values that have to be strongly adhered to even while you are on your path to achieving the goal. Contests, in my case, it has always taught me to win with grace. It has taught me to be resilient from the failures of life. It has inculcated in me that sportsmanship how to deal with stress effectively. And especially for the millennial generation, for the youngsters, when they are immediately thrust into the corporate world, they must be equipped with all the skill sets that have to be mastered. And this is possible only if you participate in contests.
Wow, what a
And
great
contests, yeah.
what a great answer. I don't feel like I'm talking to a young student. I feel like I'm talking to a 50 years old scholar who has written 25 books. Amazing. You've got a great intellect, Freesia. I really appreciate that. Where did you got this from? I know it's from your training and your book reading and all that, but there's something, there's a secret, I believe. There's some secret.
Secret, I am always into yoga and meditation. The 5 prayers which I perform in a day, it is a kind of yoga. Other than that, I have meditation, I do self-reflection. So meditation has deeply influenced me because it has helped me to reflect on all my activities so far in life. What can I do for personal renewal, for self-improvement? And that is what, and of course, my extra reading, my voracious extra reading, which has helped me gain these insights.
So why you chose to be in a, like be a doctor? There could be other fields as well. What was the reason for that?
Yeah, since childhood, stethoscope, toy sets, all those things. Whenever an interview of a doctor flashed on TV, I would rush and go and watch it. But those all were factors in my ambition being a doctor. But apart from that, apart from all those fancy things, there was an incident which happened in my life which deeply influenced me in my decision to be a doctor. While I was in fifth or sixth grade, my mom, as I had mentioned before, my mom is everything for me. She is God incarnate for me. So my mom, all of a sudden, one fine night, she could not breathe properly and she had wheezing problem and she was in a very miserable situation. So we had to rush her to the hospital and I was so tensed because I have never seen her in such a miserable situation before. We immediately rushed her to the hospital and fortunately there was an ENT doctor there and it was that doctor who he immediately nebulized my mom, he gave the necessary medications and finally she was back to normal life. So at that moment when I was so anxious, when I was so worried about my mother's health, it was that doctor, his name is Dr. Jyoti, who when he brought my mom back to normal state, he was like God to me. He was God incarnate for me. So it was that incident which deeply influenced me because that sense of gratitude which I had towards him. And that is how doctors can influence society. In our tradition, in India, we say doctors are like God or next to God because we strongly believe that the ability to renew life is equivalent to creation of life. So they are very much next to God. And it is that sense of virtue in a doctor which made me take this decision to be a doctor.
And if you save one person's life, it is like as if you've saved the whole humanity. And especially now the situation is where we feel like people used to acknowledge the celebrities like footballers or Bollywood or Hollywood celebrities and all that. But now the real heroes are the one who are fighting this on the front line, which are the nurses, doctors, medics, all those people. So yes, you are doing a noble job. Frisia, being a female, um, and living in an Asian society, you are trying to make your own brand in terms of studying and public speaking and all that. Is it something which is challenging?
I don't feel it is challenging because though you are a woman, you are a man, you are a creation of God. there are a lot of violences happening against women, brutality is happening against women in society. Yes, that is all true. But I think as a girl child or as women, women around the world, they have to equip themselves with the skills required to face the challenges of this world, having confidence in them, having how to encounter any situation of life, and to emancipate themselves from the walls that fortify them. So, in my case, as I mentioned, it was my dad who told me, sky is your only limit. My parents never downgraded me just because I was a girl child or I was a woman. No. So, those morals, those virtues I have carried throughout my life. So, I have never found being woman a challenging situation in life, because after being relocated to the capital city of Kerala, I am now the official host of Indian Medical Association and Indian Academy of Pediatrics. In our medical college, we have both boys and girls, but in any endeavor of my life, I host a lot of shows outside as well. I have hosted shows in Dubai, but in any situations, I haven't faced any challenges of being a woman. So what I have a message to give to women across the world is, it is after all you who decide what are the shackles which bound you. It is only through your skill set, the traits which you develop as a girl child, which can help you in emancipating from all the man-made fortresses around you. So be bold, be courageous, and the world is open to you.
Wow, it's a lovely message to all the females out there. What's your message for the students, the young students, and especially their parents?
First message which I would like to give is, be who you are. Don't try to imitate others. Because in today's world of cutthroat competition, in today's digitalized world, we are in the habit of adding filter to everything we come across. But at least in our personality, let's not add any filter. Let's be who you are. Let's be unique. And the second thing which I would like to give is, try to create meaningful relationships. Because in today's digitalized world of Facebook, Instagram, and all, we have superficial relationships. And the reason for these superficial relationships is that we are not having the essential skill sets to create real friendships. Because for us, everything is revolved around social media. And the second reason why we don't have meaningful relationships is, we don't have the coping mechanism to stress. So my two strong messages would be, one is, be who you are, develop your true personality, and don't add filter to that. And the second message is, try to create meaningful relationships, people who can be there with you through your thick and thin, and not just that highs in WhatsApp and Facebook. And the other thing is, to the parents. To the parents, what I would like to tell them is, they should be like my parents, because they always send me into a field which I loved. They never stress me, you have to be that, or you have to be this, you have to secure honors, or you have to have A grade. No. There was, because the problem is, the today's generation, after their graduation, they are thrust into the corporate world. So when we are thrust into the corporate world, we must be well equipped. We must have job satisfaction. We must have self-fulfillment. We must have patience, all of which are required to cope with the highly competitive world. So let's not just be broiler chickens who listen to everything what our parents say, because we must have our opinion in any situation of life. So parents, leave your students, let them fly like birds, let them rise like phoenix birds in any stressful situation of life.
Thank you, Freesia. Your speaking style is very influential, very inspirational, very motivational. Where did you get this from? I've read through your profile, and it says that you are a member of Toastmaster Club and you've achieved ACG, Triple Crown. I don't like ABCD, so many things were there. and you'll be getting a DTM, which is Distinguished Toastmaster, soon. And I believe you will be the youngest one, isn't it?
Yes, that's true. Uh, Toastmasters journey for me started from my first MB, from my first year of medical school. Because after first year, I had
So now
almost 2 to 3 months.
it's your third year, fourth year, or final
Uh,
year?
I'm third year,
Okay.
drawing towards the end of third year and entering final year because due to this pandemic, we have 2 more exams to write. So during my first medical year, that is 2 years back, I had almost 2 months vacation, 2 to 3 months vacation. So that time I had spent it very well with my parents in Saudi Arabia. So those 2 months, that was my introduction to Toastmasters. Those 2.5 months, I thoroughly utilized it for my Toastmasters activities. And Toastmasters activities were also a turning corner in my life because it helped me boost my personality, my communication skills. It was there that I came across many influential personalities, the mentors of Toastmasters. And among them, I would like to mainly quote a few of the mentors who have deeply influenced me. DTM Johnson Samuel sir, Toastmaster Balachandran Pilla sir, DTM Mani sir, then Toastmaster Joseph sir, because all of them were the ones who told me that only when you win the hearts of people, only when you connect with your audience well, can you say that you have become a successful speaker. So during those 2 months, 2 to 2.5 months in Saudi Arabia during my vacation, I had completed my AC up to ACB. I completed, and I had also won. I had conducted a few workshops, so I had received a Leadership Excellence Award. And later, when I shifted to Kerala, also I continued this passion. I went and searched out for Toastmaster clubs near my college. I took membership there, and there I completed my ACS. I completed ACG, that is Advanced Communication Silver, Advanced Communication Gold. And all of now, I have completed 40 projects in total. And apart from that, I have also served as a club officer in my club. I was also the club coach for Toastmasters Club. So in a nutshell, the catch is that all of this have helped me in developing a leader in me. It has helped me to delegate my responsibilities even when I serve as a leader in my college. It has taught me leadership skills, personality development traits, and most importantly, it has taught me that only if I can lead myself effectively, only then can I lead a whole team.
Absolutely.
So this is what Toastmasters has taught me.
Freesia, because I believe you must have delivered dozens of speeches in Toastmasters. Any one speech that you remember, and probably if you can share with our audience today, any one speech that you love the most. So we would like to uh, listen to your speech.
Yes, the speech was quite long, but I would like to share with you the message.
Perfect.
We
Perfect.
had Saudi Arabian Toastmasters annual conference held in the year 2019. We have it all the years, but during SATAC 2019, I was in Saudi Arabia, fortunately. And during that time, I was opportune enough, I was so lucky and privileged to be the test speaker in the finale of International Speech Contest. So that was really a deep or a striking incident in my life because after that speech, I realized that I could connect with the audience well. It was a speech which reduced the distance between me and the audience. Just after my speech, I realized that yes, I had won the hearts of the audience there. And the speech, it was about the impact of touch. A physical touch, a simple touch, or a
What
hug
was
can
what was the
create a huge impact on others' life.
what was the title of the speech?
Touch me.
Okay, please share your speech or message of the speech.
Yes, the message of the speech is my brother, he started speaking his He started speaking at the age of 6. He uttered his first word at the age of 6. He suffered dyslexia. He had few problems while he was a child. But it was my mom, my mother's benevolence, her caressing touch, her persistent hard work into molding his personality. Though doctors, all of them labeled him as a dyslexic child, it was my mom, through her caressing touch, through her benevolence, through her hug, through her compassion, who brought him back into normal life. Now he is just like any normal student. He is very much into chess, academic activities. He is a melodious singer. So a child who was born with developmental abnormalities, who was born with dyslexia, he could transform into a normal child just like any other child because of your simple touch. Then it is something that all of us have to realize. Touch can hugely impact a person and can also change the world around you. And medically, also, it has been proved that touch can reduce the levels of stress hormone, cortisol. It can raise the levels of feel-good hormone, the cuddle hormone known as oxytocin. Touch can create successful relationships. Even in few forms of medicine, we have therapies with touch, where the touch of a doctor in different ways can deeply impact a patient, can lead to fast recovery from illness.
So it's not only touch mobile. So it's far than that. I've read a story about a twin. They born, and one of the twins were she was not breathing. The doctors did everything, but she was not breathing. So what they did, they brought the normal twin, and they put her next to the other twin, which she was not breathing, and then like she put her arm around that, and she started breathing. So yes, there is the touch is there, and touching people heart, touching them from your kindness, touching them from your love, touching them with your empathy, it's all great. And you are touching a lots of lives, and I wish you a lot of success in your future endeavors. You're a brilliant, talented, young, energetic person. So keep your energy going, keep inspiring the world. You have lots to offer to the world, and we are happy to see such young talent around us who is inspiring and who is motivating. Any last words, any last message that you want to share with the audience before we sign off today?
Yes, one strong message or one simple message which I would like to give is, right now we know that the whole world, it is facing unprecedented days under this corona pandemic. But recently, during these days of lockdown, I had read many articles. So when I read, I truly felt that what is happening around the world is a sort of nature's revenge to human activities. There was a time when human beings considered Earth as Mother Earth, where we closely lived in deep relationship with nature. But later, due to our destructive activities, we are facing this situation. So what I believe is, this pandemic is a strong message to us, because we must develop skills of humility. We must, along with the skills of humility, the quintessential traits of equality, interdependency. It was this crisis which taught us that we humans who have always overpowered and conquered the earth, we are nothing in front of this tiny microscopic virus which is invisibly infecting millions of people. So initially we thought, yes, that we are the exploiters of this nature, we have conquered this Mother Earth. But now, under this virus, all we have is the identity of only humans. There is no race, there is no caste, there is no religion, there is no sex. Coronavirus has no distinctions between humans. And in current situation, when we have mayhem happening around the world, in America and elsewhere around the world, based on discrimination between religion, sex, and all, let's keep in mind that right now we are facing a battle against an enemy which is faceless, which is religionless, which is raceless. So what we humans have to do during these lockdown days is, let's reflect and self-introspect on all our activities so far. Let's develop qualities of compassion, humility, kindness, interdependency, equality. Because only then, when we come out of this crisis, we will realize that these were the best moments of our life.
Great. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for your time. We really honored your time. So, ladies and gentlemen, we had a guest tonight, which you've witnessed. She is talented, young, with full of energy, passion, and full of wisdom. So, we need to take lessons. Anything that you've learned, anything that you want to share, please do comment with us, and we will be back with another exciting personality with you on the same channel. Keep watching. Keep yourself safe. Take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones around you. Take care.